They went to defend this country and to go to war, not to be told about pronouns, not to be told what to jam into their arms, not to be told any of that. They went in to become warriors and fight for this country.
Yeah, I've done cases with law enforcement agencies across this country, local, state, federal, and I've never run into investigators as bad as in DOD. Yeah, and again, I'll pick on the Navy, but Army and Air Force have a similar structure where the NCIS agents, they're special agents. They love to tell people they're the same as the FBI. They just have a TV show. But the reality is, the way that you become an NCIS agent is you want to be a federal agent. You go on usajobs.gov, you upload your resume, you check all the boxes, and then you have to get rejected by the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, HSI, and all the 3-letter agencies before now NCIS is the one that hires you. So NCIS, in my opinion, is primarily staffed with rejects from the other agencies. Then you go down to the IG level, where you have investigators that are not carrying guns or badges. And how well trained are they? If you want to be an investigator, you're not going to go to DOD. You're going to go to DOJ. You're going to go to the NYPD, the LAPD. You're going to go to an agency like that, state police somewhere. But you then have, the IG, which is kind of, the next level down. And then the next level down from that, command investigations, where they'll assign some officer to do an investigation that has zero training and zero experience. And some of those do really wonderful job. Honestly, when it comes to command investigations, I haven't seen a mediocre one. They're either really good or really bad. Because it's either somebody who clears their schedule and puts all their effort into trying to, be as good as they can possibly be on it. Or you get something that sits there and says, well, I think they're guilty because they refused to answer my questions and invoke the Fifth Amendment. So, and I know this is an issue that I'm passionate about, and so I've gone off on a little rant here, but I think that if you fix a lot of those problems, that's going to cause a lot of the good people who have left, they would have stayed.
If they couldn't have impacted that while they were in, why would they think that they can come back off retirement and make the impact now?
Well, they may not. And those individuals probably wouldn't be the ones to sign up. But I think a lot of it kind of depends on the changing climate and as, if they're given an opportunity to do things again. But, here's the other thing, is that what opportunity do you have to make change when you are on this ladder and I have to do everything just this way if I want to make the next rank? But if you come in from retirement, you don't have to worry about your next promotion anymore. So there's an element of that. I mean, to give you an example, I represented 4 05s in a single case. It was 3 Navy commanders, 1 Marine lieutenant colonel, aviators. Great guys. 2 of them had already been screened and selected for 06 and CAG. They were going to be commanders of carrier air wings. And because of this IG complaint that went completely and totally out of control, I got it all remedied. But all of them retired as 05s. That's 2 carrier air wing commanders taken off the board in one move. And that's just one story. But there's a lot of these. Now, if you went to one of those guys and said, hey, would you like to come back? And whatever the role is, and that's the interesting thing that I noticed in this program is that the retirees can apply to come back in to fill a specific billet. They're being advertised for specific jobs. So it's not just that a retiree sits there and says, yeah, I'll come back in and I'll let PERS decide, where to put me. They would be looking at a very specific, okay, they need, senior instructors at the flight school. They need somebody to run operations out of this port here. They need whatever it is. And again, I know it's the Army program, and I'm using Navy terms. But if they see a job that they want to do, that they feel like they can make a difference at, and they're not worried that they might, they're not worried about trying to make rank, maybe they can be more effective.
Okay, I agree with you there. I still don't understand why they would consider that rather than try to figure out why everybody left at the beginning. And so it sounds like I never thought about the IG stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that is the biggest reason people are leaving.
No, I'm not saying it's 50+%, but I do think it's a percentage.
Do you feel, I'm going to tell you a theory that I've had.
Okay.
And this happened, this crossed my mind way back when the whole defund the police movement started. And I feel that the demoralization of police and the defunding the police movement was to change out the old guard, get rid of the old mindset, bring in the new mindset. Then I think that carried over to the military. They brought when you think of the guys that have been on this show, that have joined, they didn't join.
I have
for
a lot
this.
of clients on your show.
Yeah, good point. But these guys didn't join for this kind of shit. They didn't join to have vax mandates. They didn't join to go through whatever. What do you even call it? Like the inclusion or whatever you want to call it.
Diversity and inclusion training.
Yeah. They didn't. They went to defend this country and to go to war, not to be told about pronouns, not to be told what to jam into their arms, not to be told any of that. They went in to become warriors and fight for this country, and stand up for American values and beliefs, and train our allies, which we've abandoned. And I feel that. I mean, what do you think of that? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that they wanted to get rid of the warrior mindset in the military, and they wanted to get rid of the old mindset in the police department, completely revamp it. And it's almost like we're just watching a failed experiment real time.
Or we could take these lessons and figure out how do we apply it to Congress to get rid of all those people. Kidding slightly, but here's the thing. You're right. And I think that a lot of this focus on these other programs, I mean, look, the vaccine mandate was a total disaster. It was a total failure. And I think that the courts have been very clear on this. And the fact that we now have the Army sending out letters to people saying, hey, I know we kicked you out for not taking the vaccine, but we'd like you back and you don't have to take the vaccine now. It's an admission that was a total failure. As to a lot of these other, initiatives, I think that they're pushing very hard on the language and everything. But the reality is, I was thinking about this the other day. I came in 1998. So it was during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I remember when they repealed it, what was that, 06-ish? I think it was around 06. And everybody was, predicting doom and gloom and everything. Everybody on the outside. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you remember what it was like on the inside, but I remember when they were talking about repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, we all thought, who cares? When they repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, one of my academy classmates, like on the effective date, he got married at 1 minute after midnight on the first date that he could be open about his orientation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what all of our classmates said about it? Good for him. Was anybody surprised? No. No, we all knew. Nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell, in a weird way, was used more, at least towards the end. I mean, obviously earlier on it was definitely abused, but towards the end, all the time I was in, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was primarily used by people that wanted to get out. You know, young sailors who got on the ship and decided, oh, my recruiter lied to me. This is not what I really wanted to do. Let me go to confess to being gay as a way of getting a simple and easy, honorable discharge without any questions asked. And, you know, when that went away, they, of course, then started, they turned to smoking weed instead to get out. But their DD-214s looked worse. It didn't matter. And I think that if you can have both. You can have the warrior culture and you can have all this, inclusion. Because the reality is, if you have warriors out there, do you care who they're sleeping with or what they're doing on their free time?
No.
Exactly. If they can do their job and help us to go over there and kill the people that we need to kill, it doesn't matter what they do in their free time, what they, how they want to dress, what their pronouns are. None of that matters. So you can do both.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.